done. Now, we learned yesterday that NVRAM, DRAM, flash memory, or the types of memories that are involved for booting up a router. We also learned that the operating system that is there in the flash memory will not get altered. That image file, the .bin file, will always be there unaltered. Only a copy of it will be taken from the image and decompressed into dynamic RAM. And when the NVRAM is not having any data, this is what the question it will ask you if NVRAM is empty. Listen, NVRAM is usually checked on the way from flash to DRAM. Yeah, when it is booting, no, during the booting time, it will go to the NVRAM and check whether NVRAM has got any old configurations that you have saved. If it is there, it will load. It will not ask you this question. The router won't ask you this question. But if NVRAM is empty, if there is no previous configuration, then then your router is going to ask you this question, because your router understood that this is an empty router. This router and the controller understood that there is no IP address, no host name, nothing has been configured so far. It is totally blank. So it is asking you a question saying, would you like to enter initial, see, initial means what? Beginning configuration. It understood that there is no configuration, so it is asking, hey, do you want any help? Do you want me to help you to configure any initial configuration? Why do I say help? You see, dialogue. Dialogue is actually help. Dialogue is like, someone is asking, how may I help you? Then you say, I want to know where is the drinking water available. And then they say, are you the citizen of India? Then you say, yes. Are you a human being? Yes. That is dialogue based. See, you want water actually. Instead of telling, see, water is there, this fellow is asking lot of question, and to answer that I want water, he will ask 10 questions. Only 11th question is, do you want water? That is the problem with the dialogue. Say, for example, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. It will ask you too many questions. Even if you don't like to answer those questions, you have to answer. Otherwise, you will not see the next question. The next question may be the question that you want. You understand what I'm saying? Unless you answer the 10 question, that 11th question, which is the question that you want to be done, will not be asked. That's the problem with this dialogue. So we will never say yes, we will always say no in our daily life. In our daily life, if this question is asked in your any environment in networking, you will always say no. You will always say no. But just once we will say yes and see. It is asking again, would you like to enter basic management setup. You say yes. Then it is asking, okay, what is the name that you want to give for this router? I'm saying Imran. Okay, do you want to set any password? Enter enable password, enable secret. I'm going to say ABC. What does it say? Enable password is used when you say not specific any enable secret. If something older software version, come on. So I'm going to say ABC again. Choose different password. Okay, I'll say 123. And virtual terminal password, VTP. Do you want this virtual terminal password? I say the password is okay, 321. Do you configure SNMP? No, I don't want. So these are all stupidity. Too much. You know. So let us come out of it. So we will never say yes. You will not say yes. Why? You can go straight and do what you want if you know the commands. You no need to go through this dialogue based like on person who don't know anything about router. Only for those people who do not know anything about router or who do not uh, have a certification, they only need that. Whoever has not gone through CCNA, they only need that. Yes, sir. Dialogue based. Those who have gone for certification, they know the command, they know where to go and put the command and get what they want. So we will always say no. I'm going to say no now. Alright. So when I say no, this is the prompt I see. Router greater than symbol. Do you see that? Router greater than symbol. Okay. What is this router greater than symbol? It means user mode. This particular mode is called as user mode. Yeah. User mode. If you see something like this, it is called as user mode. Like this. It is called as user mode. The reason why it is called as user mode is if authentication is enabled, before showing you this prompt, it will ask you username to give and password to give. After you give the username and password, only then this will appear. See, right now we don't have any username password set. So it is showing you directly this mode. But when the username and password is set, it won't show you here. It will ask you to provide the username and password. After you provide, only then it will show you this prompt. Okay, so a router, the greater than symbol is user mode. Now, what do we do in this mode? In this mode, we can do few show commands. See, there are various show commands. But not all of them work here. Very few show commands that will allow you to know the statistics of the router. Like you can ping from here, you can say show me the routing table, show me the interfaces. You can ask few show commands. You can ask only few things. Hmm? It'll ask you only few things. Sorry, it will only allow you to do only few verification, not the complete verification of the router. You can't verify the complete configurations that you have done on this router. Only few things. You can check the routing table by typing this command show IP route. It will show you the routing table, and you can say show IP interface brief. Like this, few show commands it will work. But if you want to see the complete router, we have a command called show running config. What is running config? Show me the DRAM. You know what is DRAM? That is where the complete operating system is loaded, right? That command will not work here. You see, show running. It will not work here. So there is a limitation. User mode, that also it won't work. Okay, so those things and all won't work. So what I'm trying to say is, after you get authenticated, you will be in this mode called user mode. In the user mode, you will only be able to get few statistics, not complete statistics. Few statistics, few things like routing table, as I showed you, like interface. You can also try pinging. Ping command will also work. If you want to ping someone and check whether this router can ping them, you can try from here. But right now I cannot ping because this router is not configured. What I'm trying to say is, these ping command, trace command, show command, some show command, these are all shows what this router is capable of. Some statistics, not the complete statistics. You understand? Some statistics. Now, if you wish to know what all this user prompt can do, put question mark. It shows the list of commands which can work in this mode. You understand? Only these commands. Okay, now, can I do any configuration here? No. See, as I told you, you can see some statistics of the router. You cannot do any big configuration here. You can't. So we need to go to the next mode. The next mode, you see here it is. To turn on the privileged command. What is privileged command? If you want to check everything in this router, like you want to see show startup, right? And you want to see show running, right? If you want to do that, then you need to put this command enable and hit enter. Right now what we have done is we have turned on the privilege mode. So from the user mode, you have gone to which mode now? Privilege mode. How does the privilege mode look like? It looks like this. Hash. If you have this greater symbol, then it is user mode. When you put the enable command, you will be inside the privilege mode. This privilege mode can also be called as enable mode. I repeat. This mode, privilege mode, is also called as enable mode. Because you are using the command enable to enable this, right? So this is also called as enable mode. Privilege mode, can also be called as enable mode. So we have seen user mode, we have seen enable mode. Now in this enable mode, you can type whatever you want to see. You see, for example, I want to type show startup. Show startup configuration. You see, it shows that the startup configuration is empty because we did not save anything, right? But when I type show running, it shows the operating system. It says this operating system has consumed this much of space in DRAM, and this is the version of the operating system. This is the default name given for this router, and there is an interface called G00. There is another interface called G001, G002, VLAN 1. All these are what? Loaded from flash into DRAM. This is the default skeleton of operating system. See, so far you have not done any configuration. This is how by default, this is what your DRAM is having. This is what your DRAM is right now having. This is what the operating system skeleton. Okay, ask a question. No. Listen carefully. DRAM from flash, this operating system is loaded. On the way, it will pull your previous saved configuration. Have you saved anything so far? No. Then that's why you don't see anything other than, it says no IP address. It is just default. That's what I was repeatedly saying. This is the default skeleton of operating system.
This information not available in NVIDIA.
It won't be available until you save it. If you save this along with this default skeleton, if you put some IP address, hostname, everything and save it, that gets saved to NVRAM. Right now, you see, NVRAM is not present. But wait, listen. I'm going to say copy the running configuration to startup configuration. It copied. It is copied now. Now if you ask show me startup config, last time when I was saying show startup, what did it say? What did it say? Now you see, startup config exactly has got what the DRAM has got now, because we copied. You understand? Okay. Now, one thing you should have understood now, in this privilege mode, you can see the complete router's configuration. You okay? You clear? Next. From here, you need to go to configuration mode if you want to do any configuration. I repeat, you can't do any configuration. You can only verify. You can only see the complete router, but you can't do any configuration in this mode. I repeat, you cannot do any configuration in this mode. You understand? So if you want to do any configuration, you need to jump to another mode. Are you ready? For that, this is the command configure. Actually, it is configure terminal, but you don't need to type like this complete word. You can also say config T. See, when you type configure terminal, it takes you to another mode. You see, the mode is changed. Previously, it was router. Now it is router, inside the bracket configure. We call this as config mode. config mode. Sometime I will call it as global configuration mode. Both are same. Global configuration mode or configuration mode, both are same. Okay. Right. So we are going to configure a host name, shall we? We are going to give a name to this router. So this is where you can give name. You cannot give name in the privilege mode or user mode. You can't do that. You have to come here in order to give name.
So privilege mode only for using next port configuration. That's the purpose of privilege mode.
Come again.
Now the privilege user mode for limitation. Privilege mode we are going to config mode before the privilege mode. That's
Correct. That is the step. You cannot go directly to configuration mode. We have to first log in to user mode by giving username and password. From the user mode, we put the command enable to come to privilege mode or enable mode. From there, we need to type config terminal to enter into the configuration mode. In the configuration mode, you can do configurations, but what you want to configure? The configuration that you want to do, if it is common for the entire router, we do here. But if it is for one particular port, you need to go from here to that particular port. I'm not going to do that now. Let us see how to configure a host name. Configuring a host name is common to the entire router. I want to give a name to this router. So I say what? Host name. No space, okay? No space. Host. Host name. Means this particular router is what we call as host. Every device in the internet is a host. So we are giving host name. We are giving a name to this router. See the host and the name. It is one single word. Is there any space in between host and name? No. It should be one single word. And then give any name. What name you want me to give? I'll give Kingly. Kingly. It immediately changed. We call this as global configuration, meaning the name that you have given is for the router. It is not the name of particular port of the router. It is the name for the entire router. That's why this mode we call it as global configuration mode. Anything that is common for the entire router, anything that is for the router, not for a port, not for a routing protocol, anything that belong to the router, the whole router, we give here. Now, if I want to give IP address, for example, I want to give IP address to this port. See, I'm typing a label here 10.0.0.1. So this is not configuration, this is just labeling. For your reference, I am writing in the whiteboard. This is whiteboard. I want to now put that IP address on that port. How do we do? You need to go to the interface G000. That's why you need to know the name. You see, I'm inside the interface mode now. If I'm inside the interface mode. We are inside the interface mode. Let us give no shutdown. Listen, you see by default it is red in color. It's not green. The reason is, let me show you. By default, all the interfaces are shut down. Shut down meaning they are not allowing any protocol to work. They are not going to allow any traffic to pass through. They are not going to allow any protocol to work. They are in shutdown state. It is for security, it is in down state, okay? We need to bring it up. So how do we do that? You cancel by putting no. No shutdown. Got it? Now as soon as I hit enter, you see it says the interface change state to up. But this need to be done on both the end of the wire. Still the other side of the wire, the second router, is in a down state, correct? Until you put no shutdown there, this will not completely come up. Actually this says here it is up, but still the line protocols are not ready to work. Protocols will work only if this side is also no shutdown. Only if this side is also up. So let me go to this router quickly and bring it up. No, enable config T interface G000. Listen carefully. In the previous router, there is only one line saying this, okay? It is not talking about any protocol stuff. And you also see it is red. But now, after I say no shutdown here and hit enter, two lines have come. This has come. Protocol also started working. You see, line protocol is also up. Now you go to the first router and see, in the first router also there is second line coming. Protocol is up. So for this second line to come, the wire, both the end should be turned on. You understand? The first line will come the moment you say no shutdown. But that is not going to allow the traffic to pass through. For traffic to pass through, the wire, both the ends should be on. Now, you see it will be green color now. Which means it is on. It is up. It is ready. It is ready. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give IP address here 10.0.0.2 and I'm going to show you pinging from router A to router B. Are you ready for that?
Yes.
Now let me go to router A and give this IP address 10.0.0.1. IP space address. Okay, this is the command. And I say 10.0.0.1 and the mask is /8 means what? 255.0.0.0. You cannot put /8 here, it won't work. You have to write like this mask. And mask is compulsory. Even if you don't submit, you have to type the mask. Alright, now in Kingly router I have finished configuring. I want to verify. See, show to verify where did I go? I go from the interface mode to the privilege by pressing two buttons, Control and Z. Z. Or you can also type this command. We were here, right? We were here. You can type 2 times exit. Exit. It will take you there like this. Exit. It takes you to global mode. Again you type exit. It takes you to privilege mode. But the best way is, when you are here, the best way is either you press Ctrl Z, which I did here, or you type end. You understood? End. That is equal to Ctrl Z. Now, why did I come here? Because show commands will work here only. Show commands will not work in global mode. Show commands will not work in interface mode. There you can only configure. But if you want to verify, you should come here. Now let us type this command and see. Show IP interface brief. It shows that you have 4 interfaces. In that, only this interface has got an IP address, and it has got IP address manually configured, and the interface is in up state. You understood? All right. It is up. Now we will do the similar job in router B. Router B we don't have an IP address, so let's give IP address 10.002.255.0.0.0, and let us give a name. It is a good practice to give a name. I'm going to give a name, host name, Bajaj. All right. Even if you don't give name, it will work, but it is a good practice to give name. Say I used Control Z to come here. Now one more thing is, you can type copy run start to save. You can also type WR. WR means it will write. Both are same. Copy run start. You see, copy run start will also say what? Building configuration OK. WR also says what? Building configuration. So where do you put this command? In the privilege mode. Now let us verify whether the interface has got an IP address. What is the command? Show IP interface briefly. It shows that this interface have got this IP address and it is up. The protocol also should be up. When you say no shutdown, this comes up, but protocol will come up only if both sides are up. You got it? I showed you that. Now, let us try pinging from here. You can ping from here or user mode, any mode, any user mode or privilege mode. You can ping. I'm going to say ping 10.0.0.1. This is the IP address of the next device, correct? You see, it will ping now. If you get the exclamatory mark, it means success. Out of 5 packets, only the first packet didn't go through, because the first time when you ping, it will take some time for the ARP to resolve the MAC address. Now when you ping the next time, it will ping 100%. You see, now it is 100%. First time only, you will lose 1 or 2 packets. You understood? I use the up arrow to bring the previous command. I hit enter. I don't type every time. You understood? Now